Hi, this is Duchess Robinson from Duchess.pro 8x10 Design. And today I want to talk about, I get this question a lot. When you're starting in the web development or website development atmosphere, you need a website, you want to get these things out, and you hire a web developer, and they say a lot of things that go over your head. Well, today I'm going to give you a tip on how to eliminate high pricing for hosting and domain. This is something that I see a lot of people, being taken advantage of. For instance, where some people do not have access to their domain and hosting from the web developer owns everything. As a person, as a client, you don't want that, because if you have to change the web developer, the web designer, however you want to have access to the content and the things that you paid for. So what do I mean by that? Some horror stories that I've heard is people paying per month for their hosting and domain, and it's an excess of over sometimes $100 to host it, not including the payment that they've paid to have it developed. So, what's happening, you have some developers that take advantage of the ignorance of web development of people. You want to be informed on these things. So, today, what I'm going to teach you and give you a tip is how to determine your domain and hosting. So when you do get a developer, or if you do it yourself, you know how much things cost and you've already have control of that. I'm going to only teach you one portion of it. So here the first portion is the pricing and what you'll get, and I'll give you four different versions of hosting and what you need. So I'm not going to delay on that. I know you're sitting here looking at my screen right now. So let's dive into it. Now, one of the popular web hosting companies is GoDaddy. You see the commercials, you see all of those things. I've used GoDaddy probably for about 10 to 12 years, and I have recently migrated to other hosting. Now, I've worked with different other hosting platforms, so I'm going to give you four that I know for a fact that I run into constantly. So, number one is GoDaddy. So, we're going to look at some things. Let me explain what a domain is. The domain is the name of your site, your business, your brand. So it would be company.com or yourcompany.com. I preference people by telling them you do not want your domain name to be specifically long. Why? Because people, when they're typing in your domain, you want to make sure that they have the proper spelling and it goes to the proper page. Some people become very frustrated when they do not know the name of your website or how to spell it, and they'll try to Google it, and sometimes they'll get it, but you want to be careful not to make it too long. A long URL like your company's name and your name connected to it.com. That's just too much. That's excessive. The best practice is to condense the name of it, because when you get to your website you're hosting, you're going to have the full name anyway, even if it is long. Who do I see do this the most? Churches will put their whole church name because they believe that it'll be easier to find But sometimes the names, even the simplest of names, can be um, misspelled, and it's a whole mess. So another way is to put in initials along with it, and that way you can have a better control of your brand across social media and emails. And what does that mean? It's all uniform. It's specific to your brand. So Duchess.pro, and sometimes I see in the domain will be Duchess.pro, and then it'll be something else, multiple different ways of finding you. When I do a flyer for someone and they say, "Oh, we want our social media links on it," and it's like different links, that's just annoying to a graphic designer, just to let you know. And developer, that's just too much. So, what do I mean by that? Pick something, choose something unique where when you're using social media and your domain is attached, that makes it easier for people to find your information and you have control over it. So let's get down to here. Now, GoDaddy, the domain is usually the name of the site. Hosting is where all of the contents fall. I know there's a lot of people saying, well, what's hosting? And I thought the domain, that's all I needed. I've heard that many times. Think of it as this: your address, 1234 House Lane, is the domain. But you live in the house. That's the hosting where everything is. The name, 1234 Housing Lane, is the domain. Inside the house is the hosting where everything is stored, furniture, whatever. All of your things that you need. So let's go here. Now, GoDaddy, as I've found in a few years, have become very expensive. Um, Still good service, but very expensive. They've got a lot of stuff connected, and they're starting to do, create your free websites and everything else like that. I tell people, when you invest in your company, people will respect it. So here, sometimes free is not always good. So I'm just going to go here. Now, they've made it simpler: domains, professional email. So you definitely need an SSL certificate. What is an SSL certificate? Let's go back to our let's go back to our visual. The domain is the address. The hosting is where everything is stored, where you live. SSL security is the security system uh, that looks over your house to make sure nobody is able to break in or able to steal anything. That's what an SSL certificate or SSL security is. It is the security system that protects the hosting, the house, and the address. So that's what that is. WordPress is a popular uh, website hosting platform. Yes, WordPress is used for blogging, and that's how they originally started, but it is a tremendous platform to use to build your website. And I'm from novice to expert. So I would suggest, if you're looking into it, think of WordPress. But I advise people, when you are looking for hosting, don't just go for WordPress because it limits you to just WordPress. You want a robust website where you can add different things to it. So we're going to go over here to web hosting. We're going to click here. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Here's the hosting package, and I'm going to explain to you what these different things are. With GoDaddy, you have something called Economy, Deluxe, Ultimate, Maximum. Usually in different hosting packages, it is standard to have different pricing for different things that you want to do. So I'm going to go over a few things here. Which one to choose, which one not to choose. So here with GoDaddy, And you have the preference, it says as low as $5.99 a month. That's only, and I'll show you, that's only if you buy it in an annual rate. This is your annual rate for $5.99. With GoDaddy, you are actually $8.99 a month. Just to let you know, standard performance, how quick, how fast your website is going to go. You only can use one website. You only have 100 gigabytes of storage, 10 databases. Usually, that doesn't really, for the general or standard um, website, that doesn't make sense. So you're going to get WordPress either way. Free Office 365 for the first year, then you have to pay, for it. A free domain. So with this hosting, $8.99 a month. So you put in your calculator, which is pretty easy, but I just want to show everyone $8.99 and 12. This is what your hosting for the year would be. Let's go into the deluxe. Standard performance, unlimited websites, which means you can create multiple websites. If you are a business that need to do different websites, or you have different businesses that you want to do, it's $11.99 a month. If you do it for the year, you would have it at that price. Showed you in the beginning how to calculate that. We're going to show you in a minute as to what. 25 database, unmetered bandwidth, same thing. Just you have unlimited websites. Next is the ultimate recommended for high traffic sites, e-commerce stores, um, radio stations, podcast, just a lot of information, churches, whatever. You would be in this area. Increase processing power. WordPress is highly, there. You have bandwidth. You can always click on here and it'll tell you what it is. This is actually $16 a month. You get free premium DNS to do different things with DNS. Now look here, free SSL certificate, and we talked about that, the security. So if you would get this package and not the last two, you would get a free SSL certificate, and you can see the value, $94.99 a year. It's a lot of money, but it's worth protecting people using credit cards or anything else on your website. So here it's free. And it's free for one of the websites, just one. So I have to preference that $16.99. So let's go over to the maximum. Everything that the Ultimate has, free domain, free premium DNS, free unlimited SSLs for all your websites. So every website you would set up, it would have an SSL certificate for each one. Highlight it, renew in your cPanel. This is something that I've seen GoDaddy just add. Usually they just give you one, or you can purchase one that'll oversee 5. So if we click on here, remember, as low as $19.99 a month. Look at here. You add the cart. And I told you I was going to show you what was going to happen with that. So if we look here, they automatically kick you to the highest rate, which for 3 years it would cost me $719. Office, email, 17. Okay, some people don't do that. 24, the 12 months, $275. So they only kicked it up to from the $19.99 to the $22.99. Now, if I go 1 month, it'll be $28.99 a month. 3 months here. Quite different than what we saw before. Add website security. That's even more security outside of the SSL certificate. So that's like having already having your security camera there, and you wanted to add more cameras or anything else to that. That's what that means. Integrated malware cleanup, web application firewall to prevent hackers and to block attacks. Content delivery network provides speed boost and protection. Secure site backup with one click. You can restore your backup with free plugins, so I wouldn't hasten to that. So all in all, if you do 1 month or 3 months, you can see the cost here. That's GoDaddy. That's high. Keep a mental note of the price here. Next, we want to go to 1&1. 1&1 I started using in the last 4 or 5 years. What I liked about 1&1 was the speed of what you were getting for the price. You didn't have to go through the metered speed or anything else like that. And I'm going to show you. If we go to hosting, remember you have domain, website, stores, hosting, WordPress, marketing, email, all of the same thing that you saw on GoDaddy. But again, I'm always tell you, and there's a reason why I always go to hosting. Hosting specifically will tell you everything that you're going to get. If you go to domain, you're just buying a domain. If you do hosting, you can see if you get a free domain with it and SSL certificate. So let's go into hosting, and we're going to go over to web hosting. This is basic for any other websites. For everyone else, this is professional for agencies and stuff like that. But we're going to go to, and remember we talked about that WordPress hosting. So let's go into let's go into a hosting. Click on packages. See, these are completely different pricing than you would see from GoDaddy, which I preference in saying, in my opinion, it can be a little steep if you're just starting off. So good service, a little expensive. So here, for 12 months, it would be $4 a month. Then it would rise to $6 a month. Let's take out our trusty calculator. Of course, we know what it is, but for the people who don't want to do quick math, it's 48. So $48 for the year. That's a far cry from the $86 every 3 months, or the $24 you would for GoDaddy. And the next year when you renew, it would go up to $72. Now let's see what comes with this package. Best for one website, 10 gigabytes of storage, professional email included, similar to GoDaddy, domain included for 1 year, basic CPU and memory resources. Pretty much basic. Let's go to the next one. These are special. And look, free domain for 1 year. Free wildcard SSL certificate, 24-hour support. I use that a lot, so I know that's to be true. So, for larger web projects, that's for multiple websites, they have a special here for 12 months, and I don't even need the calculator for that. For 12 months is $1 a month. So that means that you would be paying $10. $12 for the year for your first year. But after that, you would pay $10. That's about $120 after this first year. So they pretty much, it's around the same price as GoDaddy after the fact. Well, a little cheaper than GoDaddy. And here you have professional email domain included. Remember, free SSL certificate, and that's just for one domain. So, the experts. Here you can see unlimited website, unlimited storage, unlimited databases, professional email, domain included for 1 year, site scan, malware, content delivery network. So $8 a month. I mean, with one in one, you have the opportunity to buy for your SSL certificate. I believe you pay with them $20 versus $94 with GoDaddy per website. Each website should have its own SSL certificate. But one in one gives you the opportunity to pay for unlimited SSL certificates for about $100. So if you're a person that just play around or have multiple businesses or just multiple ideas or monetizing different websites, you would want to use that. So you have that information available. However, I preference that one in one doesn't give you a cPanel. And cPanel gives you a lot of options to use within your website. This gives you a nice click build website, which you can have WordPress installed in that. Let me just say that WordPress is in there. So if you don't need a whole bunch of information and you're doing it on your own, you could use one in one. Next, Namecheap. Namecheap, because the name is Namecheap, some people are thrown off about it, but it's actually a really good service. So again, you can check and see if your name is here. If you just buy .coms only, or .nets only, it's here. So again, I tell you, this is all of the same thing. You can transfer, you can migrate, they have all of that. So let's go into hosting. Now, let me tell you something that's different. Shared hosting is the same thing as unlimited websites. Shared hosting means they give you, put it to you this way, we have a slice of pie. And every time you take a cut of the pie, you're taking away from memory. And it can all be hosted in that shared hosting. You're just taking space for different websites. Of course, they have WordPress hosting. They have reseller. If you just want to, which I believe most web developers do, they'll buy this package and sell real estate, basically. We're using real estate because that is my specific conversation about website and web hosting, is that it is real estate. You're buying space online. And I don't know if you ever heard that before, but that's the way I see it. Reseller means you become a real estate owner in the web hosting platform. So you can take and sell at your own rate to people, domain and hosting. People do make a living off of that. VPS hosting, just specific where you can cast it off. It's just more robust stuff. So we're going to go into the shared hosting, which would just be regular hosting. Now, this is the yearly price. Pay attention. Here's the monthly price. Yes, the prices are what you see here. So, Stellar, you get 3 websites, $2.88 a month. You have the popular. Remember, the economy, they call it Stellar. Economy for GoDaddy, and then you had one in one, which was the basic level. You can get 3 websites opposed to one. For $4.88 a month, you can get unlimited websites, unmetered SSD. You can always check and see what that is, and they're pretty close to what they're saying. And $8, and look, on the cloud, 50 GBs, auto backup, and cloud storage. So per year, if you do it at a yearly rate, this is how much you save. It tells you pay $31. They tell you at the bottom what you're paying. So this is not bad if you do it yearly, which includes the domain name, free TDLS, available. Annual comes with this offer. Renews for the after this year, the first year that you purchase, for $57 a year. And if you go through the cloud, you would pay $57.88 and then renew the next year for $104. Not bad. I'm going to click on the popular so you can see what that looks like. You can choose your new domain or bring in another one, bring in one you already own from somewhere else. And as you can see, this is the price. You have multiple SSL certificates. And I just want to show you something with that. Now, remember we talked about with GoDaddy and one-in-one. One-in-one charge you per SSL certificate after the first one is free. They'll charge you $20, or if you want unlimited, is $99 a year. GoDaddy, it's free for the first year, $94 for one. And then it's a bigger price. We can go and look at that if we go back. You're just going to see, so you'll know what you're doing when you're looking at it. We need to come out of here. All hosting, web hosting. Let's go back to the front page. SSL security certificates. So this is for one. Each one of these are for one. And I don't think they have one more than one. I don't think they give you more than one. They used to. If not, I can probably find it. SSL certificate. I mean, yeah, you should be able to get more. And there's a bunch, but it's kind of hidden. The highest level authentication is $125. And you can pretty much get that everywhere. Okay, so let's go back at here, and I want you to check this out. Let's go to 1 year. Yeah, that was 5 years that you saw here. You can buy one after your first one for $8. You can buy an essential or an instant SSL. This is different levels, and you can learn more. Great for business. But this is the one I generally use. 3 domains included for my own personal projects, because it'll give me, multiple. Great for e-commerce, a whole bunch of them. There's one where you can get multiple SSL certificates. So either one, Instant SSL Pro, organizations, single domain, wildcard, look and read which one is good for you. They're pretty. 3 domains included. This is for 3 already, plus some. So it's pretty good. It has a cPanel. It has everything. It has different apps that you can go to, a logo maker, a site maker, if you want to do it in subscriptions. I don't like the drag and drop because it limits what you're able to do, but that's in a whole nother video. So Namecheap is one that I'm using currently for different projects. Now, the last one we're going to go over to is Bluehost. Now, Bluehost specifically, I believe, is a combination of the past 3 websites we looked at: GoDaddy, one-in-one, and Namecheap. It has the quickness of GoDaddy at their highest level. They have the easiness of one-in-one, and they have the inexpensive pricing of Namecheap. Now, again, we're going to look here. We're going to look at shared hosting. Remember, we talked about that, dedicated. And we're going to look at shared hosting, get started. But we can just scroll down here. So look at all of the resources that they've given you. And we're going to look at 12 months. Shared most comic, easier, brings things to life. So one website, $5.95. What do they give you? One free website, more storage in the beginning, custom themes, 24/7. Also include a free domain for 1 year, free CDN, powered by Cloudflare, and a free SSL certificate for your domain. So auto renews at a regular rate. So after this year, you would pay $12 a month, and that's the same. They should have for 12 months for the 12-month term. So the plus, you would do unlimited websites. We've seen that. Unlimited SSD storage, custom themes. Here you go. Free domain for 1 year, free CDN, free SSL certificate. Remember, it's for one. Free Office 365 for 30 days. Okay, so if you like Office 365, you would get it for 30 days with them. Recommended, there's always a recommended. Unlimited websites, custom themes. Let's look at the bottom. We're just going to skip because they're all pretty much the same. Free domain, free SSL, free Office, free domain privacy. Now, that was another thing that I didn't mention with Namecheap. They automatically give you domain privacy. What does that mean, domain privacy? When you register your domain, what happens, they will literally, people will start sending you emails because you just bought a domain and hosting plan. And your information is available to the public if you do not make it private about your website. It's almost like the white pages of your phone number and your address. And if you don't want it to be out there or anything else like that, you have to make it private. So that's something you should preference. Always make it private where people are not getting your personal information that you use to register your website. So just needed to put that there. Free automated backup for 1 year. Like I said, you can get plugins to do that. And here's the highest one. And we'll go down: free domain privacy, free automated backup, free dedicated IP address, specifically for what you have here. And we can just look at, you can do all kinds of things here. So I just want to recap a bit about, we talked about GoDaddy, we talked about 1&1, we talked about Namecheap, and we talked about Bluehost, bluehost.com. So I hope that I explained it to the point where you understand what you're paying for, what you should receive. Most developers or designers will tell you you need a domain and hosting and SSL certificate. Those are your main three things that you should say, okay, I already have that, so you can take that off my bill. Because usually they will, push up the price if they have to sell it to you, upsell you for it. You already have it. You have control of it just in case you need to move on to a different developer, or the developer no longer is doing websites, or they've moved on, or they accelerated, or they called it quits. You will still have control, and that's the most important thing. I tell any organization, any business, anybody, you should always control your own. It's like, really quick, and sorry to just jump off, so I'm pushing home the point. It's like buying a house from a realtor, and the realtor still holds the keys to your house. And if you get locked out, you have to go to them. Or if they decide to go elsewhere, you have to find someone to get the keys and to change the locks and everything else like that. It's the same thing with your website. Hold the control. Matter of fact, I'll put it even in better terms. It's like you buy a house from a realtor and they still hold the deed. Yeah, you wouldn't want that. So that's what you have here. So again, thank you for watching. We have different programs, workshops. If you have questions, please send us an email at mail, mail, at Duchess.pro. That's Duchess dot pro.